Morning, it's 20 past 7, Sunday morning, and I'm on the way to meet up with Steve and Kev at Edale. And I've driven up rather than come on the train, something I've not done for a long time. And I was just sort of reminiscing really of almost every few weeks, every month, driving up here, driving to the Lake District, driving to North Wales, getting up at 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning, to travel to places like this, the Peak District and all over the country, to do hill walking. And how I really got out of that habit, and you know, I've been using the train. It takes a long time. I've sort of gone off using the car. But yeah, I quite enjoyed using the car today. And I think going forward next year, I'm going to try and get out and about around the country a little bit more, get into another habit of doing things. So this time, I've got with me a new tent. So it's going to be probably a one-night camp. We're not going to walk very far. Something else I can't sort of get my head round, meeting up with Steve and Kev just at this time of the morning. I'm going to be meeting them at 8 o'clock. We're not going to walk far. It's going to be a right dawdle. But hey-ho. It's adjustments. So anyway. We'll see you later on the trip. It's a Sunday morning, so I had Radio 4 on the way here, listening to all religious... And not one of yours, Steve. Did you come with the radio in it?
I knew you were coming this morning. You're not joking
the
about
exhaust.
the exhaust.
Is it noisy?
Fucking hell, yeah. That was excellent. That was a big one.
Alright, here we are. Kev, Steve, Yanu and myself. We're on the way up the Nab. We're actually on the way. We spent about 2.5 hours having breakfast and hanging about. Not that there's any hurry. And it's looking like a fine day, so we'll catch you later. Get this new tent up, give it a try.
Shit that you said on repeat in my head. China cabinet, busted again. Ends it won't meet on the raisin the rent. Picking up teeth off the pavement. Broken like bread, shirts that don't fit. Growing mold in the basement. Digging holes for dying hopes. Throwing sticks at glass. Coke bottles. Losing my grip in the rat race. I can't recall in the first place. What was it I was aiming for? In a canyon left undone. Another tape, another rerun. If this is all you know, this is all you know. Could you believe better? This is all you know. Scratching my back and I'll get yours. Keeping tab, tracking the score. You versus me, skeleton dance. Keeping the peace, wringing my hands. I don't ask much of you anymore. Play of indifference.
so much more room in this tent than my other small tent. I didn't buy this tent to survive strong winds or anything like that. You know, I bought it for fair weather winter camping, and hopefully I'll get on all right with it. But it takes 2 wide pads, so there's a lot of room in it, which is what I wanted for winter really. So I've got my Z light here and my Uber light over there, and then when I go to bed I'll put my Z light on top of my Uber light. But for now I can sit in this part and do my cooking and stuff, and leave my bed set up there and have a rest there when I want to. Primary objective for this tent was to use in the winter, and I can use it for cycling. I can use it in the summer as well really, but it was just to give me a lot more room. I definitely didn't buy it to be storm worthy or anything. I'll just risk it, you know, hopefully that my judgment of the weather conditions is a fair one and I won't have any problems. With the extras I've added to it, the guy lines, extra pegs, a ground sheet and a clip-in liner, it comes up at 1.2 kilos for a 2-person tent. So that's the reason, you know, I don't want to overdo the weight I'm carrying. If I want to have a good walk, 10, 12, 15 miles, you know, I want to keep the weight down. So on this trip my pack weighed, with everything really, weighed around just over 10 kilos. So that's got all my winter gear, winter coat, down pants, down coat, winter sleeping bag, Z-light mat. It's only one night though, so I can probably bump that up by a couple of kilos if I'm out for 2 nights or 3. So anyway, there she is, the Tarptent double rainbow lithium Dyneema tent.
This is all you know. This is all you know.
Yeah, it's been a good lantern that this has. It's still as good as the day I bought it, really.
Is it a replaceable or rechargeable battery?
Rechargeable.
Right, so it's built in.
Yeah.
I just, because I've seen it in action that time we were in the cabin.
Yeah.
It like powered the entire evening.
Yeah.
It was so bright.
Well, here we are in my voluminous tent. Luxury. In my massive tent. Look at it all. Got my rucksack in here, my boots. I've never had a tent like it. Bloody brilliant. Love it. Yeah, such a nice evening this evening. Non-stop chatting with Steve and Kev. Then Kev's fell asleep. You can hear him snoring. Can you hear that? That's the dog whistling and Kev snoring. Yeah, we've had a good chat, a good laugh, and I've had an aperitif, I think that's what it's called, then a starter, then my main course, then a pudding and a couple of drinks, and Kev kindly gave me a drop of his homemade coffee infused rum, which was absolutely amazing, really nice, little nip of that. And yeah, such a lovely evening really. There might be a shower in the early hours, but we'll be off back down to Edale tomorrow, as Steve's got a family day out tomorrow, and I don't really feel like doing another night. I'm going to get home. I'm not in the mood for trudging around on my own particularly, so I was happy to have had the company and the laughs, so thank God the weather's not too bad, and I've successfully erected my tent. So anyway, we'll see you in the morning. Good night. Morning. Well, the blooming wind got up a bit last night when it got dark, and that woke me up. I was a little bit worried about the tent, how it'd take the wind, but I was really pleased, because that is probably the windiest night I've had in the tent for a long time. And the shape of the tent just seemed to shed the wind really well, and because the fly comes almost right down to the ground, it did pretty well. No flapping at all, and the top of the tent was moving slightly from side to side, so I got my walking poles and put those up into the apex corners, and that stopped that and seemed to make it more rigid. So all in all, I was very pleased, really. I think it's about 8 o'clock now. Gonna have a cup of tea, and then we'll start making our way back to Edale. I just can't get over how much room there is in the tent, and how nice and sort of square it is now. It keeps its shape so well. And I don't know if you can see this. Look, this is like a clip-in liner. It just to stop condensation. Not that there is any condensation whatsoever. Last night there's none at all. In fact, for this time of year, it's surprisingly dry, the air, so very pleased with the amount of space. It's just such a luxury to be able to move about in the tent, and even it's just brilliant. So there you go. What I've been up to, I'll tell you, just in case you might be interested, because I've not posted much on social media recently. So I've had my much younger brother's wedding, which was absolutely brilliant. We enjoyed that. I had Caroline, a friend of my wife's wedding. That was really nice. That was just last weekend, and the other wedding was a couple of weeks ago. I've been to the Isle of Man for 10 days with my son-in-law. I went on my BMW, and Mark went on his Harley sort of chopper bike. That was absolutely amazing. The weather was terrible. We went for the motorcycle racing, but unfortunately there wasn't that much racing due to the weather. But the main thing was spending time with Mark. That was amazing. Been to a few car events, enjoyed using the cars. This week I've been up to Rugby in Lincolnshire to the Thorns Beehive factory and purchased a little bit more equipment in their annual sale. Of course, I've been doing the bees, but that's nearly all completely over now. The beekeeping, for this year. In fact, probably just one more time, and I shall be shutting them up before we have our annual holiday, which for the last 10 years has been in Overhaddon, overlooking Lathkildale. So that's coming up for the first week and second week of November. So that'll be pub fires, good beer, good food, walking for a week, 10 nights we've got there. Just a few family things and working on the old Morris Miners. I'm almost ready now. I've put a new rear axle in the red Traveller, which I didn't realise the rear axle would almost completely, the differential, not the axle, was almost completely seized up. So I got one from a club member, local club member, for £50 and replaced that, and that's made such a difference. So I've just got to sort out the knocking main bearings in the engine now. So that's the next job, take the engine out of the red Traveller and check the crankshaft. Put a new primary chain on the Triumph Tiger Cub. That's developed a sort of metallic rattling sound, and although the primary chain was rattling, it's turned out it's something to do with the push rods, either the cam followers or the tappets where they connect to the push rods. So I've got to take the cylinder head off and investigate that. New brake master cylinder on the BMW, tidied that up a bit to go to the Isle of Man, and then noticed the brake master cylinder was leaking a little bit, so I replaced that. That went quite well, and the rear brake does seem a lot more effective now. So all in all, plenty to keep me busy.
What for a crap.
Have a good one.
I'll think of you.
Yeah, I'm a load of shit. So this has been like the first time for a long time I've done like a one-nighter camp without carrying on for another day or a couple of days, you know, doing a good walk. It's like a short walk and then a camp, and yeah, it's nice. I'm looking forward to going back home and getting stuck into stuff I've got to do. And fortunately the weather's been really nice, you know, for a one-night camp, and it's certainly good to sort of add that into, you know, what I get up to. You know, a little night away made it, you know, probably easier coming in the car to this one and going home in the car, which took me about 2 hours, take about 2 hours each way. Being just a one-nighter makes it more convenient. When you come on the train and go on the train, if it's like 3 days, it feels a bit more like a holiday then, and especially at the end you can have a couple of pints and get the train. Yeah, it's nice, but anyway, if we get a good spell of weather at some point over the winter, I might try and get a week in the Lake District or something like that. So not on the hills, just sort of wandering around the Lakeland Trail. That's what I fancy, the Lakeland Trail, a new trail of I'm not sure, 120 miles or something. Looks pretty good. So
are you falling? Calling you. Are you falling? Calling you. Just wanna pack up my things and go. Just wanna be free, just wanna zone. Just wanna flow, just wanna hang with the gang, but sometimes chill on my own. Just wanna do me, just wanna doze. Just wanna live and see how it goes. And the goals just keep on going, yeah. This life we live is a war. When there's love in the rave, you know. When there's love in the rave, you know. All inside you, all in the soul, soul, know when the calling's calling. And it's calling, calling more. And it keeps on calling. Yeah, it's calling, calling more. And it feels like I'm falling. Do you want it or you need it? Is it part of your soul like breathing? Is it something mad you're achieving? Is it all for a petty little evening? Do you want it or you need it? Is it part of your soul like breathing? Is it something mad you're achieving? Boss bitch energy, yeah, for the evening. Evening, mad, evening. Come on now, boss bitch energy, yeah, for the evening. Sorted, evening, evening. You know when the calling's calling more. And it's calling, calling. And it keeps on calling. Till it's calling, calling. You know when the calling's calling more. More, more. Calling's calling. Calling's calling. You know when the calling's calling more. You know when the calling's calling.